Okay, sure. Follow. Follow. Uh, Hi, Faisal. Can you
Perfect timing.
mute yourself? We are
Oh,
already live now. Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Manoj Atri, your host for tonight. I'm a real estate agent with Remax Hallmark, and let me get our expert also. We can get a hi from him, and then I'll try to go around with the agenda of the day. Hi, Faisal.
hello. Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm okay. How about you?
Um, it's Monday.
It is Monday, yes.
It's a cold Monday.
It is a cold Monday. That is true. That is very true. Okay. And let me see. I'm just trying to get myself in the frame, see if I can get myself properly in the frame. But there is something. Okay. So go ahead. Walk me through if everything is fine there at the moment.
Um,
Anything new that is there, or we are all okay? Go ahead.
there is, there is, yeah, just the market is a little bit picking up.
Okay.
And when I say picking up, I see action in the market.
Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
I see, I see some offers coming in. I see, like today was one, just actually about an hour ago.
Hmm.
Um, Multiples are still there, of course.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I see some action. I like January. I We saw a lot of yeah. February is a little bit different than January, and I see some action, including there's some action on downtown condos.
Yes, yes, you're correct. The main thing that I am seeing here is, I mean, I was surprised a few weeks ago. The amount of listings were less, but at this moment, the listings are improving quite drastically. That is what I was having a look at it. That the quantity of listings have absolutely increased very fast.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with the agenda of the day, and then we will take it from there. Give me a moment here. Okay. So, as our agenda is, we will just start with the real estate monologue, and where we'll just give you an idea about uh, where things are in the market and how are they, like, what exactly is going on. And second thing is, then we will begin with uh, the article review. And this is like an interesting article that I've picked it out, Faisal. The condo versus house debate. Lots of people are, they are not very clear what exactly is a condo townhouse, freehold townhouse, semi-detached, detached properties. And this was a very nice article. And I said, this question was always pertinently asked. So I said, let's me review this for now. I hope we can. answer that particular questions to them. Then the next thing we are going to cover our main topic of the day, what are the ways to avoid rent to own homes pitfalls, and I'll try to come up with around 10 pointers that you can go through in order to avoid this particular fault. And we have our mortgage expert Faisal Garcia. He is with Dominion Lending, and he is an expert with credit repair and does excellent mortgages. So he's with us during the course of this webinar, and we'll see how things go down the line. Go ahead, Faisal. You would like to add something to this particular? Go ahead. You're mute.
Um, you know, the article review condo versus house debate, and the question you say, which is a better option for your clients. So most times if a client comes to me from realtor as a referral, I don't get that question.
Okay.
But if I'm doing a pre-approval before they meet with a realtor, that's a question I get. So I'm actually interested to hear what the article has to say.
No, this was. I mean, you cannot imagine. I have to always explain, like this is, and the main difference is the maintenance part. And then these days, if you go through some of the details there, they they uh, they do not comprehend what all types of properties are there. So it was a very basic question, but still it needed some clarification at the time of purchasing. That why are we like? What's the difference between freehold? What's the difference between condos? Though people have seen those, but the difference and the jugglery between the two has to be still understood. So
Yeah.
that is where things go. Okay.
It's a good question. It's a question that I hear not often, but quite. I think you probably hear a lot since you deal with real estate mostly. But yeah, I do hear that question from time to time.
Very simple, but it takes on. It is there. It
Yeah.
needs a clarification. Okay. So now let's see if I can get that article up and running, and I will then try to put that together. Give me a moment here. Let's see if I can get that article together. There you go. I have that article. Now let me get us over there. And before I get too excited, just update you, Faisal. We have we are live on Facebook. We are live on Twitter, and we are live on YouTube. And for for a change, we were on time. Okay.
I mean, we always try to be on time. Well, actually, I think I should say we are always on time, provided technology works. Timing
Yeah.
is not our issue; it's the technology, because this webinar is scheduled. I'm sure it's scheduled in your calendar, and it's scheduled in my calendar. And everyone that I know, including my father, not to call me after 6 o'clock
Oh,
on Monday.
awesome. That is good to hear. That is good to hear, sir. Okay, let's go ahead with the article, and we have the article in place there. So let me go there. Now, this is by a real estate professional and by Kandace Gallant. This was written in the 24th of November 2020. It's not a long time ago. So, and the basic was the condo versus house debate. Which is the better option for your clients?
Yeah.
If I am there in today's market, Faisal, in today's market, the house is basically in the GT out of question. You have to get into the suburbs. Buying you are in multiple office situation within the city and even outskirts. And the glut for the condo is there right now happening. It is picking up, but it is not completely done. And the best thing here is, like, let me see, there is something here with the, no, it has this camera. See, I told you, something will be there. It won't
It
leave
is.
us easily. Yeah, let's see if I can get that right. No, I'm not able to get that right. Let me see if I can fix it up in the meantime. See, the main thing here is uh, I have been sharing this for quite a while. And the reason I've been sharing this for quite a while is because the uh, the market, uh, Airbnb was the culprit. I mean, it has nothing to do with their style of business or anything. But the main thing here is like they were trying. Uh, they basically were picking up our rentals, and that is where the glut had come in over. And once the glut comes in over, then you know how things go. So that is how that was creating quite a problem there. And that is the reason now the Airbnb has slightly taken a back seat. And that is why there is a glut in the market for condos. And in case if a person is wanting to go and purchase a condo right now, they should do that because this is the best time to purchase a condo in the downtown core. Otherwise, even the regular ones, they were going, they were going even in multiple offers, even in condos last year.
So last year, January,
Mhm,
um, I remember I had a client
mhm,
where husband and wife, they were separated.
mhm,
They owned a home in west side of Toronto,
mhm,
and unfortunate reasons they had to separate. And when they separated, they both could only afford condo on their single income,
okay.
right now. So one of them, with great difficulty, was able to acquire one.
Mhm,
Like, I mean, really great difficulty.
okay.
The other one took over 2 months to find one.
Mhm,
And even that was no condition, no this, no that, status certificate up front, like everything. Like basically, just sign here and tell me that you're buying the condo. Otherwise, I have other people to sell it to.
yes.
That's what it was. And the second candidate out of the two bought last year January, and
So,
it was busy. Market was busy. I think they put in like 4 offers
mhm,
before they got one.
yeah, that is equally, that's how. At this moment, I mean, there is a bit of a hope with the condos. I
Hmm.
am seeing within a month or 2 months, they are also going to go into that particular direction because there is nothing left in the city. So if you are now stuck with with living in the city, then you have the only option, which is a condo. And nothing in the 300, $400,000 range.
They're
Nothing.
all in 600 plus
Five,
five
six,
six.
five, six, 5, 6 easily. And even with high maintenance, I mean, I was seeing the other day, there was a condo with $1,000 maintenance,
Hmm.
and it didn't last for more than 30 days. It was gone. Okay, let's go ahead with the article further. Okay, now, first time buyer. Now, let's give you a general, basically, an idea what exactly a condo is a property which has a maintenance fees, and a freehold, which is called a house, is without maintenance fees. So that's the major difference and then we'll go into the detail as we go along. You have condos or condo townhouses. So anytime when you talk about condos or condo townhouses, they are both with maintenance fees. And freehold, whether it is a freehold townhouse or a semi-detached or a detached or a linked property, these are the ones which are freehold properties. And the term is freehold means without maintenance. Now, the latest scenario in the market is that some of these Faisal, freehold properties are coming up with maintenance fees. These are like complexes where you have some POTL, parcel of land format, in which you pay some kind of a fees. And like they are taking care of the complex. Like it varies from lawn maintenance to driveway, snow clearing, and things like that. But that is what is coming into the picture. So that is where some of the interesting part is getting along with freehold ones also. And so Oria, some 1 or 2 years ago, had to come up with a special form. Can you imagine? Like we have the condo. Earlier, we used to have the condo or condo townhouses, and there was a different form for that. And then we had the freehold ones. Now, some of these freehold have maintenance fees. How do you handle that? So then they came up with another form, which is called the freehold with POTL, and that is what addresses. So that is the latest in the market. So people can understand that not all freeholds, some of these freeholds may have a maintenance kind of fees. Go ahead, Faisal.
So you know the example of Gilchrist.
Yes, yes, yes.
That was the prime example,
Very, very famous. Very famous.
right? So free so homes with maintenance fee, that is, it's not common in the real estate market, but it's also not a new concept. It's just, it looks new because it's now starting to be more popular,
Mhm.
but there have been gated communities where this thing is prominent,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like paying for mutual security
Mhm,
of the
mhm,
complex,
mhm.
and most
Snow
time
clearance, lawn
snow
maintenance.
clearance,
Yes.
private road clearance,
Yep.
lawn, the entire gated communities lawn maintenance, because that way everyone's lawns looks very similar.
Yep. You enjoy. You not only enjoy your property, you enjoy someone else's.
Yeah. Right. Then windows are similar, it gives almost like kids going to a private school with similar uniform.
Yeah.
They all look very nice and one format. So
Yes.
this is not a new concept, but it's starting to become more popular
It has
now.
become. I've seen in the last few years, it has picked up quite a lot. Okay, so just to give you a broad difference in all of those things, and let's go to the. There is a never-ending debate. There are pros and cons to buying a house or buying a condo. Perhaps you're working with seniors looking to downsize. Yes, this is where the things come and become part of a small community. Do you lead them towards a house or a condo? Okay, now this is very, very interesting because see, people go through phases. So when I've seen all formats here. They are in the downtown core, and then their family size increases. Kids are there. Now they will go out in the suburbs, and there they have a house with a backyard and things like that. And now, after everyone has moved out, now that house is just too big, so they want to go back to the condo. My 2 cents on this one is have a condo, go back to the suburbs, and rent out the condo, and then you come back because buying and selling is it can be kind of a good investment there. uh, don't sell it because how things change. So, I literally sat with someone, and my question is you have such a nice house, why are you selling it? They said all the kids have moved out. We are just two people here. The house is just too big, and what do we do? And the main thing here is see, condos have those amenities, and so, to tell you frankly, when you get into these amenities portion of it, I said some of these downtown core condos and their amenities, they
You don't
are
want to leave.
fabulous.
You don't want to leave.
Gym is there,
Yeah.
swimming pool is there, library is there, party room is there,
What?
sauna is there, gy- uh, you name it, and some other pools, billiard rooms are there,
Yeah.
movie theaters are there, guest suites are there.
Yeah.
They are literally very, very good. And the main thing here is try to imagine you want to have a cup of coffee and you're sitting in that library with your mug, and it's such a big room, and you can see the outside sitting in a very nice area all alone because not much traffic is there, and you're basically enjoying that place. Where will you get that? And then on top of it, you don't have to clean it up.
Yeah. You're
So
laughing at that scenario. I can sense there is something in the background. You don't have to clean it up.
literally, I'm some of these areas are very, very well taken care of, and you pay for it, but then you shared payments as well.
Yeah.
So that is some of the things that you can enjoy, and sometimes there is one more thing. You don't have to clean snow,
Yeah.
and so that can
Don't
be
have to You don't have to clean snow most times because your car is parked underneath.
underground. Yes.
It's beautiful. There's many aspects. I mean, I was at my one of my clients, uh, a first child, uh, first or second birthday, I forget, um, on
Okay.
Lakeshore condos. Um, what is that? Spadina and Front,
Okay.
Spadina and Lakeshore, something like that.
Okay.
Um, the party room was so big and amazing. It had the speaker system. It had projector going. It was little kids, right?
Hmm.
But parents were having fun on one side, kids were playing on one side. They had hired someone to look after the kids. Everyone was having food at their own leisure. Like it's something you don't get in a home,
Yes.
because if you are having a birthday party of your child, what's your what happens after is when the guests leave.
Hmm.
First of all, you're inviting guests into your own home, so
Hmm.
that's not everyone is comfortable with that.
That is true.
One. Number two is when guests leave, you're the one cleaning up
Yep. The full
everything,
house.
the whole house. Okay. And then everything is things may not be missing, but they're misplaced now,
Yeah.
right? The coffee mug that you gave to a guest is now you find it in the bathroom or you find it in the laundry room, right? They were walking with the coffee mug everywhere and then they left it in the laundry room. And now you can't find your coffee mug. There's many aspects. And I
Yes.
did see that condo, like some of the amenities, they were beautiful, exercise equipment.
Yes.
So there's yeah, so that was one of the first times I actually saw some of the amenities. I still didn't see all of it. They had rooftop
Oh,
too.
interesting. Yeah, terraces.
Terrace.
Terraces outside swimming pool, inside,
Yes.
and whirlpool,
Salt water pool.
saltwater pool,
You name
and the main thing here is some of these they have classes, yoga classes, and they have a schedule there.
Yeah.
Very, very. Some of them are very interesting. Okay, let's go ahead before we start enjoying the condo too much for everyone's convenience. Now, let's go through here the advantages and disadvantages of buying a condos. Okay, so let's dwell into it. Advantages of living in a condo: no lawn maintenance. Yes, I have a story on this one. The main thing here is the lawn maintenance, cleaning up, cutting the grass, snow clearing. These are some of the issues which are very huge. I mean, I have seen the snow part is very, very difficult. And in case if you have a huge backyard, the cutting of those lawns and then removing those fallen leaves, they are huge. And in case if you don't do it, city can come and fine you. Go ahead, Faisal.
Um, and without labeling the street, I remember not the last one, but the one before.
Okay,
It was not the big frontage,
okay,
but the depth was quite big.
yes,
So in reality, I cannot really enjoy, like, I would not really go up to the end of the property anyway.
okay,
Most, like,
hmm,
almost never.
hmm,
But there were 6 trees
okay,
that I would just look at it and I would just collect the leaves. So the 3 years, 4 years I was there, I didn't really enjoy that part of the backyard, but I definitely collected lots of leaves. I think about 15 bags every time I raked leaves. And I think I had to do it at least 4 to 5 times throughout the season. Maybe more. I may be forgetting.
the only thing I can add it was compulsory exercise.
Oh, it was a mandatory exercise.
Exercise.
Yeah, a mandatory exercise. And then
Yes,
you have to make sure you do it on the right day because you don't have a place to store them.
yes, that is true too.
Okay, and then
Yes,
you bring them right on time. It has to be out on the yard. It cannot be 2 days before. It has to be the night before. And the lawn maintenance has its own challenges, and most people don't think of it. I never thought of it
so
until I moved in.
uh,
And
I, I, I have two stories to add to yours. This one I've already discussed once earlier also. I
Mhm.
met a gentleman and I was, he said, we have to sell this one and buy another one in the same neighborhood. And I said, sir, when you buy and sell, you lose some funds.
Yeah.
And why would you be doing that? You get my point. Sitting
Mhm.
unnecessarily, like you're trying to remain in the same area, selling one property and buying the other one. He says, Manoj, come, let's go to the backyard and have a look at it. Huge backyard. And he says, every time I have to fill up 40 large bags. I am tired. Cannot do it. And he said, I have to, get rid of it because, and if I don't do it, I get city fine. So that was one side of it. Second side, interestingly, I came across a gentleman who went, this was a slightly bigger backyard, but half of it was paved, half of it was very nice landscape, and the grass was only a very small portion of it was grass. And he was so happy and jumping over it. I said, what exactly happened? It's a nice, yeah, I know it's a nice backyard. Not much to take care. It was like, see, like you leave 2 feet around on the fences,
Mhm.
rest a nice deck, and then a smaller deck, and a very small patch of grass. Like they were so happy, we don't have to do anything. So try to you will our only suggestion is when you are looking, sometimes, you have it in your mind that you want a large backyard, just be wary of what exactly a lawn maintenance comes into picture. So just be realistic there. Try to have something which you will enjoy and which you can take care of. I think we covered it well. Okay, let's get over to the next one. Shared responsibility. Is the condo roof leaking? Is the hallway dirty? Are the pipes leaking? This is the advantages of living in a condo. I'll give on this particular one shared responsibility. Let me read that out completely and then we'll go. Is the condo roof leaking? Is the hallway dirty? Are these pipes leaking? Condo owners share the responsibility of paying with these maintenance repairs thanks to the emergency funds. While I have, I can walk you through on both of those ones. Give me a moment here. Yes, it is shared responsibility. That now regarding the hallway, yes, you have because someone is there to take care of it. But then, if someone is cooking fish, and if they're regularly cooking fish, that smell doesn't go up. So it has the both aspects to it. And another aspect to it would be like, see, let's just suppose the owner above you goofs up and there's leakage in your condo. You'll have to take care of it. So there are both those things are there. It's a give and take. But yes, I mean those are some of the things. Go ahead, Faisal, what you want to add?
There's always every aspect has positive and negative, and the advantages and disadvantages both are there. But from what I have seen is the ones that have been in condo don't mind going back into a condo townhome. It's not like they buy a condo and say, I never want to buy this again, and I will only buy detached or I will only buy freehold or anything of that sort. If they're moving location wise, they have to go back into the they want to have to go back into the condo, they do. So it cannot be that bad. One. Yes, someone cooking something and you smell, and that stuff is there. That's of course there. But that's also there in closer neighborhood. My first home was on a court.
Mm-hmm.
Crescent, sorry, not court.
Yes. Yep.
Crescent.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this one person, like in the center of it, would have barbecue
Okay.
on Sundays.
And front lawn or back lawn?
Back lawn.
Okay.
But the way it was positioned, the wind would make the entire neighborhood smell.
Okay.
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 Now, some of the things they would cook were not so pleasant.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. So
yeah, because every one of us has a different way
different use of spice,
yes.
So on and so forth.
Yes.
So, I mean that challenge exists even, and these days detached homes are built 3 feet 4 feet away from each other.
Yes. That
right? Builders build literally 3 or 4 feet away.
Yeah, 4 feet in between, 2 feet for just squeeze yourself.
Yes. Okay. If you have like 50 more pounds, you can't even go through.
No way. No way you're entering your backyard through the side alley.
Yeah. So the reality is that aspect stays.
Okay.
It's kind of neutral.
Okay.
But yeah, there are certain challenges. Like, for example, upstairs neighbor doesn't want to take care of plumbing and something happens, you will have it. The aspect of it is not often.
And the main thing here is you start jumping on your floor Someone will, from the bottom will start hitting on the roof.
Yeah.
Stop it. It's no more jumping here. No, no more jumping doing. And you cannot do that. Right? So some
I
of
mean,
them.
if you want to jump, go to the party room.
And you cannot jump at odd hours because someone might be taking rest today.
Yeah.
Okay, let's head over to the third and interesting. Cheaper utility cost. I am not sure about that because the maintenance is probably is the main reason why people opt out between the two. Utilities in condos and apartment buildings are naturally cheaper because of a small square footage and the way the building was constructed. Particularly older houses can have a poor insulation in basements that are harder to heat up. Plus, there are multiple floors to heat up compared to one. I'm not sure exactly where this person is going with that particular one because Faisal, the main distinguishing between the condos and the town and the freehold is the maintenance fees. Because see, uh, with a house you can just get away with the utilities, and with the condos, the main maintenance fees comes in over. And I would say the difference between both of them can be anywhere from $200 to $500. So that is what is the main. It's almost like a mortgage. Some of them are like a mortgage when they touch the close to the $1,000 mark. Because see, the maintenance depends on the square footage of the unit. So if the unit is very big, the maintenance is huge, and that is where. So cheaper utility cost, I don't think so. Yes, there are cheaper utility costs when it is just completed by a builder because that's a teaser rate, that maintenance rate. So they want you to get in because once it's like 2 or 3 years down the line, you will come into the regular mold of the maintenance fees. So initially, yes, but down the line, no. And that is one of the main reasons that people choose houses apart from the condos. Go ahead first.
Um, that is absolutely true. Um, However, one thing when you talk about that, one thing also comes to my mind is I've not seen everyone use their entire home. I think there is a lot of your home that you don't most times use.
That is true.
So, for example, most homeowners that I've known don't use their basement.
That is, it's a storage.
It's even
More like a
storage, like
storage.
they'll have a lot of things when they move in,
Mhm.
but then slowly as they clear up, like a lot of it is actually like it's wastage of space, really.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Then they have this huge living room,
Mhm.
or let's say 3 bedrooms, out of which they're using 2 bedrooms and one is just not used,
Mhm.
or is for a guest from
Yeah,
if they come, you know. Living room is not necessarily used all the time. So there is some space that is not used when it comes to a home. Condo, I could, depending on the square footage, could be quite tight. But if you have the right square footage, it's easy to clean.
yes, it is.
It's not too much to clean. Cleaning a home can be quite the
Quite a
thing.
challenge. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, now amenities are available. Yes, this is what we discussed just now. While these may be shared amenities depending on the building your buyers choose to live in, they can have world class amenities right at their doorstep, and that may not be able to afford if they buy a house such as sauna, pool, gym, party room, rooftop terraces, library, etc. Uh, Literally, Faisal, I mean, this is my strong suggestion. When you are trying to purchase a condo, have a completely good idea about the amenities. Because, see, even if you're going to a gym, you may be almost saving close to $100 per month, and in the gym part of it. And
Absolutely.
these are very good amenities. and they may be a game changer completely. And you may love them quite drastically. That is amenities are no doubt in the favor of condos, completely in the favor of condos. If you are like, if the amounts are the same, then depending upon which part of the city you're living in, and try to choose a newer condo which may have the best of the amenities, latest ones,
So
and it will help you quite a lot. Go ahead, Faz.
on top of amenities, locations are also something that I don't know if this article actually discloses here, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the article.
Okay,
Uh, but most condos are conveniently located.
very simple.
Yeah, they're very central, conveniently located, close to a subway or close to a GO station, close to a bus station.
You may have
You
grocery in the on the ground level,
on the ground level, coffee shop on the ground level.
subway
Uh,
access.
yeah, and sometimes just walking distance to the corner, to the convenience store,
Absolutely,
Starbucks, stuff
absolutely,
like that. Now,
absolutely.
this is something I have not seen or almost impossible to find when you buy a home, like a freehold home.
The main thing here is to like see. We will be covering those particular probably, but the main advantage is the appreciation. The houses appreciate like crazy, and people are making more money in real estate these days than their incomes. So that is something to look into. And then if it's a larger family, they may be well off with a house than with a condo. So it depends. It will vary from a person to person or a family to family. But I mean, I would say uh, the some of and to tell you frankly, I'm liking the article. They picked up very very good points. Each
Yep.
one of them has been properly picked up. So both of them have their pluses and minuses, and depending on your situation, you might act accordingly. The main thing here is the older condos have a higher maintenance than the newer ones. So when you are trying to choose something, you may look into that. Give me a moment here. Let me go to the next one so that we can remain on time because we are used to talking more than we should. Okay, appliances are often included. No, I wouldn't say that until and unless you're going with a builder. Uh,
Even builder, the appliances are most times
yeah, you
included.
can add it to the mortgage. I mean, like I've recently done it with a builder, and but of this, the appliances were not there. But we could talk to him, and he said, "Yeah, include it in the mortgage, not a problem." And uh, and same thing could be with newer condos. And now, when we are talking on appliances, some of the downtown core, Faisal, the dishwasher is so small, you can hardly fit in a few utensils in. They're tiny ones. They're like aircraft format. And so you have to be very cautious about what you're trying to do there. They don't want you to eat there in those condos.
Sir, but that also condo you're looking at is a one bedroom or tiny smaller condo.
Yes, yes, these are dense. Yes, smaller. Some,
So when that is the case, the single person doesn't cook at home anyway.
and the main thing is these are bachelor ones. They don't have a bedroom. Some of them.
Well, there
They
you go.
and they finish before they start. Some of them are like pigeonholes. So now on this particular one is about the appliances are included. They may be included, but they may be too tiny. I mean, I was amazed to see a fridge which is like so small it goes vertical but very small. I said, wow, what do they expect to stay here? Because If there is an emergency, like please, for 1 week you have to store everything in here. This is not storing anything. They are like they are coming up with ideas there. So please check it out. Yeah, appliances may be included. They may be too tight for your convenient convenience, and so have a look at it and see how things go around. So those are some of the things that I would look into it. Go ahead, Faisal, if you want to add something.
No, I have nothing to add.
Uh, yes, I mean, you will come across lots of things in there. Okay, let's check out the next portion of the article. Renovations won't cost as much. Uh, I wouldn't be 100% on with renovations because some of these condos, I mean, you completely renovate them from top to bottom. I mean, like I've done a few renovations in these condos, and we literally change them. And the main thing here is when you're trying to do renovations, yes, make sure you take the permission of the condo board because if you don't do that, you can be in trouble. And second thing is like make sure you don't overdo on the renovations because otherwise you may not be able to get your funds back. So some of those things you will have to keep a sense of it. Go ahead, Faisal. You want to add anything about the renovation part?
I don't know
You're
very
tired
much
already,
about.
huh?
I started with it's Monday.
Okay.
Um, I don't know very much about condo renovation.
Okay.
Um, so I cannot comment much, but I can definitely say renovation is like a can of worms.
Mhm.
When you start one after another, after another, after another, it continues. So you have to have a good plan. And I've heard about having condo board approve your renovations before you start, because once you start and if they are not approved, it could become a problem.
Uh, uh, that is true too. And the main thing here is like, see, when you are buying and selling, you have to give a declaration there. Like you haven't done any structural changes and things like that.
Mhm.
And that may affect your buying and selling. So just be very careful whatever you're trying to do, just to do it with the, and that, uh, in fact, that is one aspect which is quite a huge difference because in a condo or a condo townhouse, you have to seek a permission of the condo board. Whereas in a house, you may have to go to the city and get the permit, but you can do what you want. So
Absolutely.
that could be a game changer. And renovations can be a game changer when you're trying to buy a condo because you may not like it. And apart from not liking it, you may not be able to do it. And in a house, you have that flexibility. Whatever you want to do, it's your property. It's a freehold property. You can go ahead and do wonders there. You build a nice swimming pool at the back. Take the permission there. Build a nice deck there. Seek the permission there. Because in a condo townhouse, you may not be able to construct on the outer periphery without because it will affect the whole complex. So some of those things, and then you may not be able to cover your balcony in a condo. They may have
True.
restrictions on those. So yes, renovation will play a very, very great role in deciding if you're not liking it, and always consult the board before you indulge into it, because you may indulge into it and then you will come to know later that you cannot do it. So this
Absolutely.
one is like I would say has more towards the house than towards the condo. Okay, let's
Absolutely.
look at it, the next one. They're conveniently located within the cities. Yes, that is one of the reasons you're trying to buy them, so that you don't have to travel so far. And if you're working in the city, they may be of quite a convenient location. You may not need a car. You may not need even a bike. You may be able to walk to your job. Go ahead, Faisal. What do you want?
Um, Location definitely makes a difference. Um,
You pay for the location.
well, I mean, you pay a certain amount for the location,
Yes,
but then if you look at a condo and a home, most times I find the condo fee really offsets the purchase price of the home anyway.
that is true.
So if the purchase price, adjusted with the condo is same, but one property is giving you the location, the other one is not, then there is a decision to be made,
That is true, Faisal.
right?
That's
So
true.
that's all really. Yeah.
Okay, let's head over to the next part of this one, which is safety and security are improved. Yes, some of these condos may have a security 24/7. And that is where I would say between the two, this could be more secure. And some of the downtown ones, they'll give you a fob that until and unless you go press it on for that particular floor, they may not let you go on any other different floor. So that is true. That is, and more cameras and more other stuffs there. And in your house, you will have to go through the extra security, putting it together. You can do that, but I would say, and then there may be a concierge on the lower level and security guards and things like that. So that this particular point will be more towards a condo than a house. Go ahead. What do you have to add?
No, it is definitely towards condo than house because the security is much easier to maintain in a condo because basically your property comes with some sort of security already.
That is true.
And there's concierge, there's, they have to buzz to, like, who is at the door. Like you're expecting someone at the door before they actually show up. In a house, they're literally like right outside, knock knock, I'm here.
And the main thing is, like, if you go to your condo manager's office, that security is running 24/7. Someone is watching all four of them.
Yeah, they're getting paid for it.
They're getting paid for it. Yes. So it is an interesting format. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, next one is a better sense of community. Yes, I would definitely work with that one. The reason is uh, you're going up and down, you're going in the corridor, maybe even to throw your garbage, or going down to the lobby, pick up your mail, and going up and down here and there. You will see some people in the community, and they are your neighbors. And there is more of a good sense of community than in a house because some of these houses are far enough and everyone and you meet people in the lift when you are going through the elevator up and down. You
Yeah.
meet people. Hello, hi, and generally there is some communication and dialogue, and that you may not see it in a house because everyone is slightly a bit far, and timings may be very difficult. You just come out, you pick up your car, you go, you've gone. So
Yeah.
interaction may be less. Yes, interaction I would say will be more in a condo than in a house. Yes, go ahead. Atri.
You're forced to see a person pretty much because when you press the elevator button 9 out of 10 times there's someone in the elevator already
Yes,
that you're
waiting
getting
for to
in.
join in. Yes,
Or if you're on the top floor and you're coming down, there will be few stops and there will be, hey, how are you?
yes,
Right?
and they will tell you some stories.
Yeah. And so, there is some social interaction, which we as humans, we need it,
Yes, we do.
right? Imagine during this corona time living in a home in the middle of
Yes,
nowhere,
and
like
just all alone.
all alone, like let's say a farmhouse.
Yes,
Okay, you're living all alone. You see no one. There, nobody wants to say anything. Like you may be safe, but from the virus part, if you want to say, but other than that, there is no interaction. Period.
Not much. Not much at all. Okay, let's keep on rolling a bit faster because we are used to, like having go through the more detail than we
Sir, I
cheap.
have to say some of the videos I watched in the past, and this I'm speaking to the entire audience.
Okay,
There is so much good stuff. If you get a chance, sometimes you should play. Points we cover, I cannot think on my own, and I'm so sure you cannot think on your own either. So the conversation brings in so much more out, which I'm sure even the writer didn't think of it.
Faisal, on this particular note, I'll add something. Some of the people say, why do you keep on talking it for 2 hours? I said, see, if you have some information with you, it's a simple point. It's a simple point, but the main thing here is because we are doing this on a regular basis, we have so much of experience. What do we do? And when we talk, I mean, like all those things keep on coming out, and the webinar keeps on going higher. And what we'll do is, like, in the end, somehow, if you want, like, see, if you want to get just the YouTube views and things like that, you can always edit a small portion and send a teaser out.
Yeah.
But the main thing here is like we have made it, and we can always cut it into parts and keep it on the YouTube. Or see, the main thing here is these days on YouTube, you have the timeline there. You can go through. You can skip. Okay, very fast. And now this is the portion I want to hear about, and you can exactly go there. So it's a plus and minus. Yes, we try to walk our prospects from every angle, so they make a very sound decision. But yes, they end up being long webinars. And the best thing I would advise is just in case if you're in a hurry, go to the portion where exactly which information you are seeking, and just because at that particular stage, we will reach and we will be indulging in that article, and you can just take that information for that article. Or the best would be call us up, and we are more than happy to talk. We love to talk. Okay, now the next one there is okay. Let's pick up this one. Cheaper insurance rates. I don't think so far. I am not sure about because my information from some of the BC condos that was there is that BC condos, their insurances have gone tremendously high. They are now everywhere not, and we were expecting that phase will transform from BC to Toronto and Ontario. It did come, luckily, and they're sorting it out there because see when one or two condos went through a drastic problems, the insurers stopped doing insurance above a certain because it was not viable, and then the whole structure in the entire BC was changing, and it was trying to spill over the rest of the country. But I mean, I think so. They have come up with something. I haven't heard for quite a while. I hope it has been resolved. Because otherwise, if it would have come to Toronto and GTA, these condos will not be a viable option to purchase. And I don't think so. The insurance cheaper. It is inbuilt in your condo fees, but I don't think so. It is cheaper because even for a house these days, you're almost close to $1,000 per year. If I'm not wrong, go ahead, first.
Sir, I because it is a condo insurance all lumped together, maybe there is a wholesale price, maybe a reason that it is cheaper,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm with you on the same aspect that it's not necessarily cheaper. It may be different, but it is I don't think it's definitely necessarily cheaper.
No, it is not cheaper. And when these problems were going on in BC,
Hmm.
I was really concerned that it is going to spill there. It did not, and we are happy for that. But it was about to spill in there, and thank God it did not, because you cannot imagine what they were talking in there. Because, they were talking tremendous amount of problems in BC regarding this particular format. Anyway, let's see if I can pick up the next uh, info and give you a moment here. The initial cost can be cheaper. No, no. If you pick up between the two, see, you buy a condo for $500,000. Let me get back to you so that I can get you on line here. Give me Faisal 1 second. Yes. Faisal, you buy a condo for $500,000 with a maintenance fees of, let's say, 6 to 700. It is
So
the same amount which
before,
you buy. Go ahead.
sorry, I see that properties window there. I see the camera properties window there.
No, no, don't worry. It's not coming.
Ah, okay. No, because
I'm
people.
trying to fix something.
I see. I see. Okay, got it. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
See, if you pick up a property
Mm-hmm.
for 5 or 600,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you pick up a condo for $500,000 with 600 as the maintenance fees, and you pick up a condo with or a house for $600,000. They're both the same, because for every $100,000, the mortgage is around 500. So they will come out to be similar. So it is not that these are cheaper. They the per month will come out to be the same.
Very similar. Yeah.
Yes, very similar, and that is the reason. So sometimes I have gone through this clarity with my clients. Okay, you may see a property which is like 500 with this much. In the end, they both your per month mortgage amounts are going to come out the same. So that is what it was, and some of them understood it, but as you know, like these are first time buyers. Some of them, they haven't gone through the whole area of purchasing, so it is they take their time to understand, and the learning curve is sometimes quite large whenever
Mhm.
they're set. Go ahead, Faisal, what you have to say.
Um. No, you're absolutely right. I don't have anything more to add there, but it definitely I'm with you on that.
Okay, let's go, because I think so. We have, yeah, wow. There are disadvantages of we are running very good. I hope we're going to pick up speed a bit, I think,
Okay.
because otherwise we will be going more than 2 hours, which is not our advantage to anyone. Do they want to share walls with neighbors? Yes. The main thing here is like when you are sharing this particular one condos, there is a sound noise, and that is absolutely true. That sound level doesn't go. You can hear from the top, you can hear from the sides. So, and that is why when you're trying to buy freehold townhouses, the equation will remain the same until and unless you're buying the end unit, where you're only getting it from one side. And some of these condo townhouses, maybe you have it from both. The freehold one will the only the detached will eliminate that. Otherwise, that sharing of the sound will remain as an equation. Yes, Faisal.
So detached has their own problems, but the noise. I mean, it's the reality is the noise is it's not so bad from what I know.
Okay.
It's there,
Mhm.
sure, but there are times, there's a little bit higher than normal and so on and so forth. Um, I have some very good friends that live in condos,
Okay.
and just like you living in this unit has to hear the noise from others,
Mhm.
you become conscious of making noise yourself. So it's a society living in a condo, so sort of regulates itself. So I mean, it is a challenge, but I think over time either you get used to it or they all become conscious and things are different as time goes along.
See, I mean, whether it's a condo townhouse, noise will be in effect. But even for freehold townhouses, that will remain there. Even for a semi-detached, it will remain there. And only the detached is the one that. But the main thing here is within your family, you're jumping upstairs. You will, you will not get a relaxation. I'm sleeping here.
Sir, detached homes have different issues, and I'll tell you. One of my back neighbor,
Okay.
so there's a neighbor on one side,
Yes.
very quiet. The neighbor on other side, no problem, don't
Mhm.
hear anything, okay?
Okay.
But on one side is building a garage, and so from time to time I hear tick 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 tick, something going on, okay? Some saw, something he's building. But one behind,
And that's a lifetime project.
he's retired, so he does like 3 hours every day. I think between breakfast and lunch, that's his workshop.
Could be his
Okay.
workshop. Yes. So he
Okay.
must be doing something there. Okay.
Yeah. So that's one side. The
Okay.
other side is quiet, very quiet.
I'll give you something very.
But
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead first.
I've the one side that is quiet has a dog.
Okay.
Okay. On the back, on my back side, there is another family where there is a basketball player.
Wow.
Okay. So if I go and sit in my backyard to relax,
It's not quite. It is.
yes,
Okay.
there is either a dog barking on one side or the neighbor running the saw and using hammer. If both of them are not there and it's a nice day, then there is a baseball player, sorry, basketball player. So detached homes have their own problems.
Have their own. Okay. Okay. So
And from time to time there are parties.
that's true.
You hear, because it is a backyard, it's a detached home,
And it's
people want,
music at night.
yes, it's
Be-
like
uh,
these things are, yes, in the condo, but they are not, houses are not eliminated from these things. That's how I would say it.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay. Let's head over to the next one, which is the maintenance fees. Okay. We've covered the maintenance fees there. Okay. Parking is limited. Yes.
Very true.
Very true in a condo because you may have one parking and then you will have to rent out the other one, and that is the main problem. Parking is always an issue, and so one of the reasons people literally this is one of the reasons that people choose houses because of their car parking and things like that. Because getting a rental in the downtown core is very difficult. So parking, I would give it to the house instead of a condo because yes, most of the time it comes with one, and some of the downtown ones have no parking at all, and some of the units do not have a parking. Maybe the rest of the building may have, but if you do not buy the parking with your unit, then it may not be there. Go ahead, Faisal. What do you have to
No, I'm with you there.
add? Okay, let's
House wins for sure. Parking.
yes, parking. Okay, limited or no outdoor space. Uh, that could be true. That could be true. Because, see, some of these condos even do not have a balcony. They don't know. It's a box. It's a box all around. There's no balcony. And interesting, I'll tell you something interesting. They may have a Juliet balcony, okay, where you just open the window, and it could be like a showpiece for a sliding door, and the whole thing is going up and down. You open it and you just stand there. So that's your outside. So that is true, Faisal. I couldn't have had made more interesting than this.
I got the laugh of the week.
This is basically our exercise for the whole 2 weeks. Go ahead, Faisal.
No, you're right. The new. I think there's some sort of a new law passed or something in the city. That's what
Yes.
I heard. I'm not sure that they cannot have a full balcony. You can have. I've heard of French balcony. Now I'm hearing from you the new term, Juliet balcony. Um,
It's Romeo and Juliet. It's, he's standing down.
so yeah, there's some challenges there for sure. But at the same time, I will say homeowners, like for example, I go in my backyard maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Well, actually, because it is so cold, 5 minutes. I cannot tolerate any more than that, and I'm back in. Okay. The only time I leave home, because we are in Canada, about 4 to 5 months, the weather is so cold that you only leave home if you have to. Um, so there's other parts, and of course, the maintenance part is still coming, which is snow removal, which you know, um, yeah, condos are much more beneficial for that part.
And there is one more thing here, that
Mhm.
some of these smokers, they prefer properties which they can go outside and smoke.
Yeah.
And condos, like you may be bothering your next door neighbor. And with the latest weed that has come into the market, which is legalized, condos don't allow it.
Yeah.
So in case if you're fond of it, or for medical purposes,
Hmm.
then you have no option to buy a condo because condos don't allow. Some of those condos will not allow. So you will have to look into this particular aspect very, very carefully. That for medical marijuana and things like that, you will have to buy a house. And that is some things that you may have to look at.
True.
Okay, next is the advantages and disadvantages. I never knew this article was huge, but this is like they've covered each and everything. The advantages and disadvantages of buying a single family house. Even while prices continue to increase, it seems that homes continue to sell and the bidding wars are more common than before. Yes, yes, yes. Houses can come in many shapes and sizes, semi-detached, freehold townhouses, single-family home, link homes, and things like that. And here we are discussing something. This is interesting. Room to grow. Perfect. If you want to, like you have purchased it and down the line you would like to add something to it, you cannot do it in a condo. And in a house you can. And so this one will go 100% towards the house because, but of this, making sure you are within the constraints of the zoning. If you have already like maximized your zoning, you may not get that, but you have an option that you may be picking up a property which you can add down down the line. Go ahead, Faisal. It makes more sense.
Yeah, it definitely goes towards house because there is one way or the other to grow. There's
Yeah.
always a way to grow in a house, not in a condo.
Yes. Now, next one. Let's get back there. And the next one is more freedom and privacy. Uh, that is, we have just discussed that one. The privacy is depending upon where your location is and how close are you to your neighbors. So it may be quite a variation on that particular. Next one is first time buyers tax credit and land transfer rebate. Now, whether you're buying a condo and or you're buying a house, you get a first time buyer rebate anyway. So I wouldn't work on this particular one. Does a home buyer get a different rebate on a condo and a house price?
No, it's
It's
very
the same.
similar.
It's the
It's
same.
Yeah, I think it's the
It's the
same.
same. Whether you're trying to buy a house or a condo, as a first time buyer, you'll get a rebate.
A
Uh,
lawyer might be able to confirm that exact, but I have not seen a difference. I've not seen a lawyer say if they bought a condo, it would be more. Like I've not heard that.
no, as a first time buyer. As a first time buyer, you will get your rebate. So whether you're buying a condo or a house, you get the same thing.
For
Maybe.
mortgage purposes, it's exactly the same.
Yes. So, yeah, in case if they're missing out something, so they can double check with the lawyer. But from our point of view, I think it's the same for both of them. Okay, now let's have a look at this second one. First time, okay, more property. With houses, you're not just limited to a balcony. Property owners will actually own the property and be able to resume their favorite outdoor activity. I would go with the outdoor activities more. Yes, if you would like to indulge in gardening, would like to indulge in uh, more barbecues right in the with music and other stuff. Yes, condo will have those limitations. That is for sure. Now, the next one is coming big. Go ahead, Faisal, if you want to add anything at this moment, then I'll add the
No,
main one that is there.
no, there's nothing for me to add there. No, I
We,
mean,
we have gone through various formats.
yeah,
Okay, the next one is big. Home equity increases faster than a condo. 100% true. In a house or a freehold property, this is where the major difference is between the condo and a house. And that is why people go in for this particular format rather than going for a boosting your home equity can be easier than with a condo unit, mainly because you have more freedom to make more improvements to increase the value. Uh, you can see, you can work on your basement. The basement could be a full entertainment recreation area. The upstairs, you can like have half the family on the ground, rest upstairs, and you have terraces, you have the backyard. And the main thing here is sometimes you would like your dog to play outside, and that
yeah.
is also very important for some people. And that is where the home equity and the main from this particular part is home equity increases faster than a condo. Very true, and that is the reason people go for the house than a condo. Go ahead, Faisal.
So home equity definitely increases more and faster. Okay, no doubt in that.
Absolutely true.
I don't know if this writer takes into account the quality of life, because one of the thing I have actually experienced is someone saying that I owned a home, but I'm working for the home now all the time. Okay. And I'm just looking at this article on my own computer. Give me a second. I'm just going to quickly take a look to see if the writer actually addresses that. I even forgot where it is now. One
Not a problem.
second.
On
Uh,
the on, go ahead, Faisal.
yeah, I'm looking at it for disadvantage. Yeah, so see, the writer does not cover this, but the reality of life is there is a quality of life difference,
Very true.
because
Very true.
you're working. See, if I look at it myself, I'm working anywhere between 45 to 50 hours.
Hmm.
Okay, Um, if you're, someone that's not so workaholic, will work 40 hours,
Mhm.
will commute for about half an hour each day. So that's about 9 hour day, 9 to 10 hour day. After that, you come home. How much energy do you have to work on your house?
No,
Create recreational
not
room
much.
or whatever space you want to create, and increase the equity. Because another aspect about house is if you don't take care of things,
Oh,
things go bad very fast.
very fast.
So I mean, it's there's two sides to it. Um, I mean, there is definitely a quality of life when you look at condo or you look at detached home. Um, just cutting the grass itself takes me about 35 minutes on the front, 30 to 35 minutes on the back, just cutting the grass.
True.
Now, to cut that grass, I need gas. I need lawnmower. I need that lawnmower to work. Okay, I have to start and so on. Every few years, I have to buy a new one. Um, have to have gas can available. Put it in, prepare. Takes about, let's say, half an hour, 40 minutes on the front, half an hour, 40 minutes on the back. After, like on the weekend, the day I'm not working, I do that, and I have to do it once a week,
True.
right? So summertime, I already am like spending 2 hours just getting my property to look good on the front and back so I can sit and enjoy.
Yes.
Instead, if you look at a condo, I would just open my Juliet balcony.
And have some, like artificial plants on that
So I mean,
balcony.
there's two sides to it, but there is definitely something that the writer has not taken into account, which is quality of life.
I will now add one very, very important aspect to it, which is like a game changer.
Hmm.
A house, you can rent out a portion of it and
True.
make your life easy because the cost of the properties are huge. If and that is a game changer because the main thing here is Faisal. Let's say suppose you can only buy a property worth $500,000 or $600,000. You're not talking $3,000 per month, and that means some of these incomes are $3,000. So you won't be able to afford it. And then if you are able to rent out the basement, now you've brought it down to half, and you're also building equity in that. So that one could be one aspect which is quite a game changer. So that I would 100% support in a house, which you may not be able to do it in a farm.
No, you cannot do it in the condo. No.
Yes. Okay. Now let's add. We are Faisal, we
I
are doing good with the. We have almost had the last leg.
I actually wanted to, okay, I wanted to say it's 8:22. I have to be somewhere for 8:30.
You should be
So
fine. Within 10 minutes, I'll be 8 minutes. I'll walk you
wrap it up.
out. I'll wrap up your part and then I will go and explain them the rent to own article
Okay.
on that particular one. Now, disadvantages of living in a house. More expensive, yes, because the values are expensive and that is where we just gave you a solution. You
Hmm.
may be able to rent out a portion of it. Next one is more labor intensive. You have just walked them through the labor. You require quite an extensive work there. And the last one is less availability in the downtown cores. That's what we have given you. If you want to buy a property in the price range today, you will have to go in the outskirts. And that wraps up the disadvantages of living in a house. How fast was that first? Go ahead. Sir.
No, all three parts, all 3
We,
points are
we, we
very
have
well.
already covered most of them in a different formats, but the gist has been covered quite well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, they're definitely more expensive. Repairs are not cheap. They are labor intensive.
Mhm.
Everything that you want to do, either you have to learn the skill and do it, or you have to find someone skilled to do it. Um, so, you know how they say if you buy an old car, you better become the friend of the mechanic. Just like that, if you buy an old house, you better find some friends that are in trades.
They're
So
handy people.
handy people.
And
So
you
that
tell
there's
them
that.
beer is free on weekends. come, and come in the morning, we have a lot of work to do.
And you have to go and help them at the same time,
Yes, that
because
is
there are
true.
it goes back and forth, right?
You will become handy in Canada.
In the process. So there's parts to it.
The bottom line is, as the article would like to address, the bottom line is it depends on your situation. And if you are stuck between a condo and a house, and the only issue is the maintenance, work out the numbers and see which numbers are making more sense. Because if a freehold is 100K more, then you're basically maybe at the same price level whether you're trying to buy a condo or trying to buy a house, and the per month amounts may come to the same. But yes, if you can rent out a portion of the house, it can be a game changer. And second thing is amenities for condos. If you are into you love that lifestyle, it will work very well for you. And there are pros and cons to it. And depending upon which part of the city you want to live in, if you want to live in a city, housing may be completely out of reach, and you may have to opt in for. But my last 2 cents on that one would be have a condo in the city and have a house in the suburbs. Enjoy both of them, and that would be perfect because life cycle keeps on changing, and then the both of them can work as investment. Rent out this one, and then you're moving back to the condo. Rent out this one. What do you have to say on that one? That would be my last take on condo or a house. Have one condo and a house in the suburbs.
Well, they take care of themselves if you have the
Yes,
down
yes, they do.
payment for them, and if you can finance them both, they take pretty much the mortgage, and everything else can take care of itself with the rental income.
Yeah, and two properties. I mean, like one for investment, one for living, will work out in everyone's favor.
Yeah.
So let's say suppose you've been able to buy a condo now. Condos are down. Buy them now. Houses are cheaper a few years down the line. Buy a cheap house then, and play around with both of them and see that one will be. So I am trying to wrap it up within your time frame, and next I can take the article on my own. So if you have to
I
head
have to
outside,
leave. Yeah.
not a problem. You can have goodbye to the audience, and we can start with the next part.
Thank you very much, audience, and thank you very much, sir, for having me here. Um, yeah, I'm going to now leave, and yeah, stick around for the rent to own. That is the juicy part of this entire webinar. Something that, every rent to own webinar we do here, there is something for every client here.
You remember earlier we used to do 2 articles. Now we are even with one article. We are covering quite
Exceeding the time.
exceeding time frame. But now I'll take it over. Thank you
Thank
again,
you.
Fazil. Really
Thank you.
appreciate your time and expertise. And before you leave, I will. In the end, I will walk them through
Yeah.
your websites and the credit repair that you do. So that is an amazing aspect we are covering, and we'll
While
be in touch
while
with
we
you.
are on the topic,
Sure.
I will give you. I cannot take the name of the client, but one of our mutual client um, has gone from 533 to 566 in 11 days.
Awesome. 533 to 566. Wonderful. 11 days. So,
11 days.
and what is your target next? What is the next target? Because they have to
3
cross the
points in
six.
11 days. We should have next 2 weeks they should cross 600.
Wonderful. And once they cross the 600 mark, you can get them a mortgage.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you a different question. Let's say suppose one partner is above 600
Mhm.
and the other partner is 750 and more. Can you like average their when you're doing the mortgages or no?
No, but there is a trick where you can do something and that benefits the client.
Okay. So basically, because see, at 680 you start getting the cash back.
Yes.
So now with one person less, and the other one is high, with
It doesn't
this,
work.
no, that format doesn't work.
No.
Okay. Okay. Next.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, thank you very
Okay.
much, Faisal. I'll
Thank you,
take it
sir.
over from this part here. And ladies and gentlemen, we are now heading over to our topic of the day, whereby we are going to go into uh, the article of the day, which is what are the ways to avoid rent to own home pitfalls? And I'll be walking you through completely on that one. And so let's get into this particular one by one. So that is the uh, YouTube webinar that we have asked you all to come, and we will now I'll now try to walk you through. Okay. Now, before I walk you through the article, let me give you some of the real estate challenges that are there. There are mainly three aspects which are there, whether you're trying to buy or whether you are trying to do rent to own. Two of those components remain the same, whereas the third one is the difference, which is the uh, rent to own format. So let's begin you with the first one. And this is where it is. Do your home completely when you are trying to do rent to own or buying process. The first component is the down payment. So whether you're trying to buy a property or whether you're trying to do a rent to own, the down payment component does not change. Okay. So and in a buying process, I may be able to get you some help with some cash back for a down payment after you have closed. But in a rent to own, you will have to come up with your entire down payment on your own. The next one is income. So the income component, whether you're doing the buying process or the rent to own, the income component does not change. And also, in a rent to own, you will have to get approved for a higher price because after 2 or 3 years, you may be picking up the property at a higher option price than the starting price. So you may have to get an approval for a higher price range than the normal one. And the third one, which is the main difference, is the credit score. So you that's why you do rent to own, because you are trying to fix your credit. So you have good income, you have good down payment, but the credit score is absolutely messed up. So the time it takes you to repair the credit and to procure a mortgage, that is the time frame you do the rent to own portion. So that is what you have to understand and comprehend what exactly is the rent to own format. Now, the last part, and this is one of the more challenges, even if you are able to address those three challenges upfront, finding a property in your price range these days has become quite a challenge. So keep that at the back of your mind. Finding properties is also not easy these days. Okay, now let's go to the next one. This, again, I have to explain it to you. What exactly is an option price? So this term you have to understand what exactly is an option price, and I will show it to you with an example. Let's go ahead there. You buy a property from an investor. So you had gone and done your research, and you narrowed down a property which is around $500,000. The investor buys it for you, and you do rent to own from the investor. So now let's see that you bought the property for $500,000, and there is a 5% appreciation fees on that particular lease option to purchase. So in 5 years' time, you will now have to buy that property for $630,000. That is called the option price. Now, this option price is negotiated right on day one, so that you do not like waiver from this particular one. And the final price is called the option price. So that is where the term comes in over. Now, the last thing. So the option price is the amount decided initially between the buyer tenant and the seller landlord as the final purchase price. So that is called the option price. Now, I would like to add something more to it. Down the line, in 5 years, that property may have become $700,000, but that would be called the market value of the property, and uh, you are only have to pay the 630, which is the option price, which was decided on day one. So just try to understand this term 630, the option price, because I'll be explaining you that in detail as and when we go through these pitfalls. Okay, let's see if I can take you to the next slide. It has probably got stuck there for a moment. So till the time it takes its time, yeah, it is showing me wait it out. The It has slightly frozen. So let me hold on to it. Yeah, it is here. So now the first pitfall of a rent to own homes is make sure you raise your credit score to obtain a mortgage. This has to be understood completely. You will have to work with a mortgage broker or a credit repair person down the line, making sure that your credit score improves because you have to get a mortgage. And they will be guiding you, and you will have to make sure you understand what they're guiding you, because if you cannot improve your credit, you may not be able to obtain a mortgage. So this is one of the pitfalls as number one, and you should be very much follow the instructions and make sure that your credit is repaired. Otherwise, the whole exercise is a futile exercise. Make sure you can get approved for the amount of option price. Yes. So now on day one, your income is 4 times the income. So you say, I have an income of 125. I'm approved for $500,000. No, you should have to get approval for 630. So your income is close to around 150, so that you're approved for 630, because that is the amount you have to get approved for down the line. There may be some speculation, but don't indulge, because if you are going too much into the speculation, and if your now income does not become 150 in the next 5 years, you are in big trouble, and you may lose your down payment. You may lose all the funds that you have accumulated by that period of time. So make sure you address this properly. Okay, let's see what exactly is our next slide. Okay, next one is, let's go through the next one. Lease option to purchase. Now, this is what is called rent to own, and the legal format maybe. You have to understand the term. There are two agreements which you are going to do. One will be the agreement to lease, and the second one will be the lease option to purchase. Both those are available on the website or generally on the internet, and you should go through both of them and review yourself very carefully what entails these particular two agreements. One is the agreement to lease, because you are leasing till the time you are able to do your option to purchase, and that could be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the line. So that is what you have to completely understand these agreements before you indulge into it. Fully understand the option price and what happens if you have to extend the contract. Now, let's say suppose you did a 5 year contract. You are not able to repay your mortgage credit score in that period of time. And your income also has now fallen down, though you may have started with 150 to get on day one, but down the line you have now fallen backwards. What happens? How you extend the contract? So you have to make sure you put those things in writing in contract. What happens if things go wrong? If you are not able to close the contract on time because you have enough down payments in there, and you will lose all that particular one. So it is in your interest to go carefully address those particular things. Okay, now let's go through the next ones. Lawyer's review. Absolutely 100% you have to get it reviewed by the lawyer. Everything should be in writing. You should get a copy of everything. Make sure you get it reviewed by your lawyer. Go through each and every clause. Try to understand what are the implications of that particular clause and spend enough time initially, because once you get into a problem, it is very difficult. You will have to break it out. You have to cancel the contract, and everything is very costly. When you make sure the sellers are on title, okay, and this is very, very important. You are not talking to a person who's trying to do a rent to own to you, and he may not be owning the property. So that you have to be careful about the scams that are going in the market, and make sure they are on title, and make sure another aspect of it, that they don't sell it midway to another investor. And now you have a new investor, there may be new contracts in place, and blah, blah, blah. So you have to make sure those particular provisions are addressed in the contract. Okay, let's go ahead with the next one. Maintenance issues. Very, very important. Make sure you do a full home inspection before you purchase the property. You need to know what all things can go wrong, and before finalizing the rent to own program. It is a very, very important. You will spend $400 to $500, but you need to get a thorough uh, home inspection done, because most of the maintenance are part of your repair, and because the owner may not be responsible for that, and you may not be responsible, and you may end up spending tremendous amount of dollars there. So make sure you go through the details, what is covered by the owner, if any, and otherwise what all you have to do, and also in case if you have to do any repairs and renovations, you have to make sure that to discuss the renovations and other changes you can do beforehand and in writing. And these are also extremely important, because you spend some 20 or $30,000 in renovations, and if by chance you are not able to close the contract, how do you address that? So you need to have all those things in writing if things go wrong. If I do the renovation, if I do improve the quality of the property, because it is my property now, I'm working on it, and what happens if by chance in the due course of time the contract is not upheld. And the last 2 points before I sum it up: closing issues. Very, very important. What happens if the seller or landlords get into a financial problem before closing? Now, you have been paying the rent properly, you have been paying the down payment per month, and somehow he's gambling with it. And now he is not able to close the property, because he now no more owns the property, and it may be into a financial issue. How do you address that? So that has to be understood and put into the contract accordingly uh, when you are trying to buy this particular property, so that you are able to close the property. What happens if you are not able to close the property for some prime or reason? It has to be absolutely, you have to have an exit strategy. What happens then? If there's something gone wrong, because 2, 3 years, 4 years down the line, you cannot fathom what is exactly going. Maybe you started with two people. Now there was a separation. Now only one income is there. In no way you can close the property. Something happens there. Some other issues come in over. Like in 4, 5 years, your lifestyle has changed. Your job has changed. You are not able to close that particular property. What happens then? So those are the things you will have to go through it and put those in writing. If this happens, then what do we do? And both the parties will have to be on a certain format in order to address it out, because otherwise you will be left hanging there, and that is not a good option. Okay, with that, it brings us to the close of this particular chapter. And the reason we call this a smart rent to own homes program is this particular reason, because we walk you through how we have made this program smart for you, and we will walk you through each and every detail. Uh, so making sure that you fully comprehend and understand before you indulge into this particular one. And that brings us to the end of this particular equation. And I will now take a leave with you. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope, and feel free to text me for your queries. Now, I will just walk you through some of these websites that we have, and you can indulge into this particular one. And that is there. Let me guide you with two of the websites as soon as they come in over here. Let me take you there. And that would be, let me take you to this particular website. Okay, this is the website by Faisal Garcia, which is called faisalgarcia.com. And this is where he does excellent mortgages, and you can be in touch with him on that particular one. And he also does credit repair. So let me, and that is his another website, which is called creditrepairnow.ca. You can be reach him on that particular one, and thereby he can help you with the credit, so you can procure a mortgage. Now, two of these ones I will walk you through. One of them is my main website, which is called manojatri.com. And this is one of the pages whereby you may have come and registered for the webinar. We do it alternate Mondays around 7 o'clock, and you can come and register yourself. And these are some of the other things that we do. We have investors who are buy properties in the GTA. If you are in a bind or got stuck up with a property that's not selling at all, that may be where you can act on it. Give us a call, and I'll try to hook you up with some of the investors who can buy properties in various areas, in any GTA areas and even surrounding areas, and in any condition. Now, the next one is power of sale, bank foreclosure. Though there are very less bank foreclosure and power of sale these days, but whatever they are, they come and go very fast. But some of them, which are in the very higher price range, they are still lying around. And you can email me. I'll be more than happy to email you all the listings that are there in this particular price range, which are bank foreclosure or power of sale, and we can indulge in that particular. Next one is zero down with a cashback program. If your credit score is 680 and above, banks have a program which is called a cashback program, and you can indulge into that particular one. So initially, you will have to come up with the down payment yourself. Once you close the property, you have a cashback program, and that money is given to you and then added to your mortgage, and that is it can almost make you go with zero down or close to it with low or zero down formats. That is there. Then rent to own is the one that I've just explained it to you. Feel free to give me a call. I'll be more than happy to guide your other questions on those particular ones. Now, these are the various alternative webinars which we do on alternate Mondays, and I'll see you in 2 weeks' time on alternate Monday at around 7 p.m. We go through an article and we go through one of the topics for rent to own, and that is what it is. Lastly, you can come in over if you are in the process of buying and selling. I will be more than happy to get you a comparative market analysis for how much is your house worth and what are the other nuances that I can provide you to get the maximum dollar for your house. So that is one of my websites where you can come in over. And this is another uh, page that you can come in over and register, subscribe to a newsletter that I do, whereby I curate around 8 to 10 articles on a daily basis and email it to you. So this is one of the places where you can come, and it is called gta-news.manojatri.ca. It is in the description below on the web on there, and also in the emails that I email it to you. You will have a link there where you can come and subscribe to my newsletter. And I try to send it every day and curate 8 to 10 articles and email it to you once you're subscribed. Here you have access to some of my other websites that are there where you can go through the listings in the entire GTA and surrounding areas. And these are some of my social media links, and you can go in there and indulge with various updates that I am constantly providing you. Now, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Again, that brings us to the end of the webinar. Thank you. If you have been hanging here with me for the whole almost close to 1 hour 50 minutes now, and I'll feel free to email me with your queries. I'll be more than happy to guide you with buying or rent to own queries, and we will see you in a fortnight. And again, good night, guys, and talk to you.